Hello, my name is Bobby and I'm Wacky, and welcome back to another Wacky Fact Wednesday. And this Wednesday just happens to be a couple of things. Christmas in July, and Fortnite's first birthday celebration. It also happens to be Wacky Fact Wednesday, week 74. So let's get into it. Now, as I said, it's Christmas in July. It's Fortnite's first birthday. So we're going to do something for Fortnite's first birthday, because I've done Christmas stuff in the past, so I'm just going to actually revisit a topic because one of you actually suggested it, and a lot of people have suggested that I go back. It was a topic that I did a couple months ago. It was one of the first ones I did when I restarted the whole series. It was basically top 5 favorite locations to drop into Fortnite Battle Royale. And since then, the map has changed quite a bit, and my feelings on certain places in the map have changed quite a bit. So I thought it would be fitting to sort of do a remake, my top 5 new favorite places. This is not something that I've done frequently in the past. I usually never repeat topics, but this one has changed so much since I did that topic. I thought it'd be cool to revisit it, and so did a ton of you. I can't even point out one person, because in all the Fortnite Friday streams, P. Diddy's just like, hey, well, this was one of your favorite places in the Wacky Fact Wednesday, and I'm like, yeah, not anymore though. So so I gotta redo it. So here we go, top 5 new places to land in Fortnite Battle Royale. Number 1 does not have a name. It is, I guess, I don't know directions off the top of my head, but it's right next to Fatal Fields. It's got a house on it. It's a little mountain. Well, it's sort of a big mountain, very flat and wide at the top. It's got a little house on it. It's got a basketball court. It's got these little crates as well. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to put a little, picture up on the screen, probably, just so you know what I'm talking about. But we've dropped there all the time in Fortnite Friday, and so that is one of my favorite places to go, because you can get the chests on the basketball court. You can get a chest on the little ramp leading off of the mountain, and you can get a chest in the house. And there's a ton of floor loot as well. You can get loot just scattered around on the ground and in the house. And it's sort of a centralized location, so if you land there, you can almost guarantee you'll be at least in or near the first storm circle. And you get height advantage because you land up on a mountain. So that is why it's one of my favorite places. And just when you are done looting the mountain, there's several buildings down on the ground that you can loot that have several chests in them as well. And of course, as I said, there's Fatal Fields right next door. So it's a great place to land. And usually you're not accompanied by anyone else whenever I go there. So that's why number 1 is that little unnamed mountain with the house on top of it outside of Fatal Fields. Number 2 is Salty Springs. More specifically, the mountain right outside of Salty Springs. I don't know, I do believe that this was in my original video, so this is one of the places that hasn't changed. Salty Springs is basically a less populated retail row, meaning that it's got about the same amount of loot, just less people go there, and so you've got a better chance of getting more loot. And as I said, there's the mountain right outside of it that has a chest all the way up at the top, a chest sort of on the middle level, and then chests down at the bottom, so you can get up to 3 chests, and there's also a little bit of loot scattered on the mountain. And then you've got the houses down in not retail row, in Salty Springs itself, which has a ton of loot And also, again, it's a more centralized location on the map, so you can almost guarantee yourself a spot in the first storm circle, or at least very close to it. And as I said, there's several houses, and each house has 1 or 2 chests, if you get lucky. So definitely a lot of loot to go around. And I also think that there is like this might be in Retail Row, I'm not too sure, but there might be in Salty Springs. One of the house has like a secret underground bunker. I don't know if that's still there or if they took it out, but it's got like secret bunker underneath it, so you can get even more loot that not many people know about. So it's a really good place to drop when you're starting out, if you don't mind running into maybe 2 or 3 other people. But hopefully either they'll take each other out, or you can pick them off one by one once you get a decent gun. So that's number 2 is Salty Springs. Number 3, I also don't know if this was in the first, was one of my locations in the first version of this that I did. It is the sports complex, as I call it, the soccer stadium outside of Tilted Towers, in between Tilted Towers and Snobby Shores. It's got the swimming pool as well. It's got like the little gas station, and then it has obviously the huge indoor soccer stadium. We drop there a lot, Fortnite Fridays. We drop there a lot. We used to go more than we do now. A lot of people seem to be dropping there nowadays, so I don't know if it's as good as it has been in the past. But there's a ton of loot there. It's also great. We also like to kind of, if we don't land there, we like to sort of push into there and sort of stay there if it's in the circle. If it's in the circle, you don't want to move out of this place. It's a good place to stay late, and even in the end game when there's like 4 people left, you want to be in the soccer stadium if you can, or at least not in. You want to be on top of the soccer stadium. That's a great advantage to have. So we like to land there, and we like to stay there for a majority of the game if it's in the circle. So number 3 is the little sports complex. Number 4 is Pleasant Park. I don't know if this was in the other one. Again, I don't know how many of these were in the other one. I didn't really think or rewatch the video or anything. The only one that I know was in that video was Tilted Towers. I don't know about anything else. But number 4 for this one is Pleasant Park. I don't go there often, but when I do go there, I get a ton of loot. And the only downside to this is, yes, a lot of people go to Pleasant Park. Not as many as they used to, because there's obviously a ton more places that are better than Pleasant Park loot-wise. But Pleasant Park is still a great place to go if you land at, I land at like the tree house, I call it. It's basically a house that's got like a tree branch, a huge tree branch fallen into the roof of it. That has up to 3 chests. There's like a secret basement to that one as well, and there's a ton of loot in all the chests. There's so many chests, there's so many houses to go through, and if you land there with 5 or 6 other people, chances are a majority of them are going to kill each other, and then you'll be left with maybe 1 or 2. But my advice for that is to just kill as many people right off the bat as you can, so you get them while they are weak and don't have anything to really fight back with. If you wait until you're geared out, most likely they will be geared out too, and you'll have a harder chance winning that fight. So if you land Pleasant Park, land somewhere where you know you're going to get a weapon, and then just start going to town on people. And then you can loot the place, have it to yourself. But it's always eerie. Whenever you go there, you always feel like you're being watched, no matter where you are in Pleasant Park. If you're in Pleasant Park, you have a feeling that you're being watched, and so that's the only downside to it, is you're like so superstitious that there's someone else watching you. But other than that, it's a great place to land. So number 4 is Pleasant Park. And number 5, the final place on this list, which has become one of my favorite places, is Loot Lake. Loot Lake, I've been landing there for months. I mean, ever since I started playing the game, Loot Lake's been one of my favorite places. Of course, you have the house in the middle of the lake, which is sort of the centralized location, but you also have a ton of other stuff surrounding the lake. Obviously, you have the two little tiny boats. I don't even know if you want to call them boats. They're little canoes, pretty much, that each have a chance of spawning a chest on them. You have a little island next to the house that has a chance of spawning a chest on it. You have a little dock that leads into like a shed that has a chance of having a chest in it. You have the houses there. I think there's like one or two houses on the edge, and then like the little watchtower. Both of those places have a chance to spawn a chest on it. And then there's a little camping area surrounding Loot Lake. I don't know how to explain it. I might put a picture up of like where I'm talking about. That has a chance of having a chest on it, and it usually does. And there's the new crater that came with Season 4. It's like the little space rock that has a chance of spawning 2 chests on it. So on top of the house, which is the centralized location, you have a ton of places around Loot Lake that have chances of spawning chests on them. Not to mention you have the factories as well on the edge of Loot Lake that have tons of loot and chests on it. So Loot Lake is a great place, and it's usually heavily overlooked because of the water. It's like a huge lake, and it takes forever to walk around in there, so not many people go. But if you look, I had it up on the monitor. I had the map up on the monitor. It's probably the biggest place, area-wise, Loot Lake, to land, and so you also have a pretty good chance of being in the circle, all as well. And if you're on that middle house, people have to, if no one else lands on that house with you, you stay on that house, everyone has to wade through the water to get to you. Everyone has to wade through the water to get to you. So you just camp on the roof of that house, scope around. You can pick people off as they come to you because they're going to have to wade through the water. So it's great. It's a very overlooked place, and it's great. So number 5 is Loot Lake, and I do think that is my favorite place to land. My new favorite place to land in Fortnite. So yes, Tilted Towers is no longer on the list, ladies and gentlemen. I barely land there. The only reason I land there is if I need to, if I want to get kills, or I need to do challenges and get kills or something like that. Other than that, I don't land there anymore. But that is my new top 5 list. For the most part, it's got a ton of new places. I know like Paradise Palms and the new Viking place and the golf course, or any part of the desert was in this, and that's just because I haven't had enough time I haven't dropped there enough to get a feel for the place and have it be one of my top 5 places. Top 5 places are the places that I've dropped dozens and dozens of times, and I've mapped out pretty much the whole place up here, and I know I have strategies for when I drop there, so that's why none of the new places are on that list yet. We might have to do another updated version in the future, depending on how much more the map changes in Fortnite, but this is version 2. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you have, would be super duper very much appreciated. Other than that, if you want to be next week's topic, wait, hold on. What week did I say this was? 72 or 73 or 74? Which one? Alright, this is week 74. So next week will be week 75. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do like a special topic for 75. But leave your suggestions down below anyway, because if they're not used for next week, they will be used for week 76. So leave a suggestion, random top 5 topics, down in the comments below. And that's about it. If you haven't seen the Fortnite dance challenge that I did yesterday, or that I posted yesterday with my sister, go watch it. It's cringy, but it's fun. Tell us who won the challenge. Right now, I think I'm winning by like 2 votes to 1 or so. So it's a close race. It's a close race. So go be the deciding factor in that. I also have a different type of video coming out tomorrow, and then like Sunday. So it's a short one. I'll be back Monday, and we'll resume. So I don't know what Fortnite Friday is gonna be like. Do not think I will be there, but in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video, which is a fun little new video that I haven't done anything like in the past. So enjoy that, and I'll try and vlog the trip, vlog the vacation, do whatever. But yeah, that's it for Wacky Fact Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.